What's up, guys? Nick Larson here again with another update on the 94 Cobra. Now, if you haven't saw the last video yet, I'll put a link to it right here, but it is on the ground. And now I gotta put it back in the air because I got the headers back from Loco Coatings. Now, if you guys are in the Chicagoland area and you're looking for somebody local to powder coat your stuff, ceramic coating, I'll put a couple pictures of the colors that are available, but they have like 5,000 colors for regular coating. His prices are extremely reasonable, and I got my headers turned around in about 5 days. I dropped them off on a Saturday, and I picked them up today, and I didn't include Sunday. But I haven't even opened them out of the bubble wrap yet, so I'm gonna look at them with you right now. I just gotta get them out of my car. Well, there they are. So I'm going to untape them and take a nice close look at the finish. I haven't looked at them yet, so you guys are seeing my initial reaction. But they look really good through the bubble wrap, so I have high hopes. Oh, they look sweet. Oh, they turned out really good. They turned out really good. I'm gonna be gentle when I put it down. I mean, they look perfect. Even with all the cracks and everything. They even got a pretty good amount into the primaries. Alright, I gotta open this other one. So even where I banged them all up to get them to fit around the steering column looks a lot better now that it's coated. I mean, they're really nice. Oh, you can kind of tell I flattened that spot. I mean, they're great. We'll do a little before and after, so I do have some video footage on what these look like before, so I'm going to clip that in right here. And you can kind of see the differences between them. I mean, they turned out super sweet. They're going to look really good in here. So now I'm going to get the car up in the air. I'm going to try to get these in. Probably not going to get the gaskets and the RTV on it. I have to decide if I'm going to cut all the bolts short, but I would like to get them in the car so we know what it looks like when it's finished, which is sweet, because once they're in, I can get the starter in it and I can kind of finagle it around once they're in the car most of the way. So I'm going to start working on that now, and I will show you guys what they look like when they're on all the way. So I'm just looking closer, and they actually do a really good job of getting in there. So a lot of places that you would think are going to be susceptible to rust and rot and condensation buildup, they coated it pretty well. Very happy. Very happy with Loco Coatings. So thank you, John. Thank you, John, for taking care of us on these. These are really nice. So, but I'm going to go back to putting them back on. Alright, so the reconstruction has started. The car's back up in the air. Now, when you order the headers from Accufab, I told them I wanted 2 bungs on one side and 1 on the other. Because if I ever convert the big stuff to a 2-bung system, I have the space. But they only weld the bungs on, they don't finish it. So I just drilled this hole in it, and I'm going to use a carbide tip on the Dremel just to make it easier. Just open it all the way up, all the way. I might drill one more bigger hole, but the majority of the work is going to be done with the Dremel to make sure that that fits in there all the way. I mean, it pretty much needs the whole hole anyway. That's what we're doing next before we throw them in. Alright, so we got one down. Did a pilot hole, then a 1-inch, half-inch drill bit. Then I used a carbide tip to open it up the rest of the way. And also got rid of all the burrs on the inside. So this one's ready to go in. On to the next one. Good thing this oil pan's really old, because I'm definitely throwing the warranty out on this one right here. But this is how you got to get the headers in, because they're pretty tight fit. It'd be much easier to have them out and then put them back in. But strategically lift the engine up. I am on all corners of the oil pan, so that makes it feel a little bit better. So I'm gonna get this side in, set the engine back down, kind of shift it over this way, and then lift the other side up as high as I can. Alright, now I thought the headers looked really good when I took them out of the packaging. Now they look really good on the car. So check this out. I mean, that's pretty sweet. Still got all the clearance on the steering shaft. The only thing that's going to concern me is I wanted to lower this car quite a bit, but I don't think the headers are really going to let me. So, worst case scenario, it's lowered not as much as I wanted to. It's still going to be lowered quite a bit, but the headers sit really low to slam it. So we might not be slamming it on the ground. I already adjusted the ride height about 1 inch higher than what it was. Just trying to get it to a basic height without it being really low. The back is really what we want to lower to help the traction. So, but anyway, the headers look fantastic. I guess I'll try to get some better images from underneath. Yes, they're low as hell. Yes, they're sweet as hell. I'm gonna get back on the ground, see what it looks like, and then I'm wrapping it up for the day. So you guys saw what they look like raw. I put some more images on there, and now you know what they look like finished, and they look fantastic. I'm really happy with the product. Once again, Loco Coatings in Oak Lawn, Illinois is who did it for us. 1 week turnaround time, and they're beautiful. So thank you guys for watching, and this weekend we're going to start porting on the intake manifold, and we have a different 03 Cobra getting dropped off. It was actually converted to a centrifugal car. Now we want to go back to a roots car, so we're doing the whole front end on it, and we'll bring you guys a video on that as well. But I really want to start porting on the intake manifold, at least get it all traced out, and get the car on the ground now. So see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe down below. Bye-bye. Alright. We are on the ground. I took the upper plenum off because the next thing I'm going to do is start aligning intake gaskets and figuring out what kind of port matching I'm going to have to do at the bottoms. I'm going to get all the bottoms port matched and then run them all the way up into the plenum. Not going to do a whole lot of work in the upper, more of the throttle body transition into the upper plenum, but otherwise just kind of cleaning it up and polishing it on the inside. But the headers are in. We already saw it, but I can't stop looking at them. They look awesome. I gotta order some shorter header bolts. I'm gonna do that tonight. So that I will share with you the one thing that I do not like. Now the car is still sitting probably 1 inch lower than it's going to. We do need to lower the rear quite a bit. But even still, those babies are low. So we gotta be a little bit careful with wheel stands. Hopefully we get it to spin a little bit. Maybe we'll run some extra air pressure because we do not want the front coming up off the ground very high because it's gonna come back down really hard. But other than that, they're awesome. I actually did run into one issue that I'm not happy about, because I should have caught it when I test fitted them before. And I had this problem with Mac headers also with these heads. But the problem is the flange actually rides up too high on the head, and it interferes with the ledge that it uses for the sealing surface. I'll try to show you on camera, but it's a little hard to show you. But I just took a Dremel with a carbide bit and took the edge down and kind of angled it so it would sit up flush against the head. Now, unfortunately, on these brand new coated headers, there's a spot where that's down to bare metal, but I don't think I'm really going to have a problem with it. So, let me show you. So the problem is there's a lip right here on the AFR heads, right at the bottom. And the header interfered, so I had to cut this whole edge down so it would sit flush against the head there. Now on this side, no issues. It sits beautifully. This one's nice and tight. I mean, there's no gasket in it. And the gasket will help on that side. I was planning on running high temp RTV, but now that I kind of got that issue, I'm probably going to try to run the Felpro big hole gaskets. I forget the part number. I don't know what they are. I think I have them here somewhere. But I do like high temp RTV better. But we're going to give the Felpro gaskets a shot. If they end up being no good, high temp RTV is going to be the fix. So anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. I know I said this once already, but subscribe down below. We're really hoping to get this intake ported, if not this weekend, then this week, and get the intake more than likely powder coated by the same guy who just did the headers. And that's pretty much it for as far as hard parts go. I mean, obviously it's not it. There's a lot of other things that need to happen, but as far as the really time-consuming stuff is the headers, the intake manifold, and wiring. And we're gonna get the intake manifold out of the way. And now the headers are done, so now I just gotta worry about the rest of the exhaust, which is fine. We're gonna probably just take it to a local exhaust shop for that. So I'm happy. There's a lot of work to be done, but it's gonna be running soon. And once it's running, then we can worry about the other little projects. So stay tuned for the big news that I'm gonna be releasing pretty soon. But in the meantime, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.